My 28 male girlfriend, 25 female, has always had this anger management issue since like our 3rd month together. Whenever she got angry because of something, she was like a volcano and did not calm down until she saw me crying. As time went by, she had calmed down. At this moment, we have 3 years together. Of those 3 years, we have 5 months living together, and things just got worse, because in the past when she got too mad, and didn't listen or wanted to talk, just screaming and say awful things, I would just go away or stop messaging with her until she calmed down and was ready to talk. However, as we now live together, there is nowhere to escape. 3 weeks ago, we had an awful argument. I am keeping this as vague as possible, because she might read this as she uses Reddit as well. After that argument, we finally were able to talk freely, to finally connect and reach for a solution together, and I thought everything was alright, finally. But 2 weeks ago we had another fight, and in this one she almost hit me. It was the first time this happened, and honestly, I got really scared. I am the kind of person that to a loved one I would never hit or even think about that. That is barbaric. After that she apologized. She said she only did it because she was desperate, because she thought I was going to leave her and didn't had anywhere to go also. That she would never hit me, and said she is going to go to therapy and work on her issues, and that is great. Really it is, I am very happy for her. But the thing is, I am no longer feeling the same way. I cannot see her with the same love as before, and whenever I think we can be good together, that image comes to my mind. I think, well, that is going to happen again. She is going to get freaking mad again about whatever she is mad at the moment. When we are good is great, it is the perfect relationship, but when we are bad, it is just awful, and I am really scared that might happen again. Sometimes I think about breaking up, but she doesn't have anywhere to go. I am everything she has, her family are just horrible, and she can't go back with them. At this moment, she is looking for a job, but didn't have any luck. I don't know how to feel, or if I am exaggerating. I know couples have ups and downs, and have to work to be together. Can someone give me a tip about this? Or if have faced a situation like this, how did you handle it? I am really sorry if I am writing weird, but I am not in a good place in my mind, and English is my second language. She is abusive. Super abusive. And it will happen again. Has she actually started therapy, or was that just a thing she said, because she was scared to lose you? That said, you don't have to stay with her even if she starts trying. Even if she has nowhere to go. That's on her to figure out, and she's had years to seek help for her anger issues and hasn't. You have to break up with this girl. She'll ruin your life if you don't. You deserve better, and like you even said, you just don't feel the same after she almost hit you. Who can blame you? She's basically abused you your whole relationship, and that was the final nail in the coffin. Break up with her. Adding to the comments here already, abusive people don't just jump to their apex right away. First it's gonna be fighting, then yelling, then physicality tests the waters. If you don't show there are consequences, they get worse and regular. In case it isn't clear, you need to leave now. I promise you, there is nothing this person is bringing to the table that you can't find elsewhere with someone who isn't going to treat you like crap. What I'll add that hasn't been stated is you need to be methodical in how you get out if you have concerns she'll escalate. You live together, so you need to take stock of what you own that has value. Wait for a time you know she'll be gone for a bit, like work hours, get your crap and take it somewhere safe. Talk to your landlord and let them know the situation. Sometimes a good landlord will let you bop out of a lease in an extreme situation. Regardless, not getting a deposit back is better than getting hurt. Once you're out, don't tell her where you went and block her on anything you can. Warn where you work, relatives, etc. that she is not allowed near you. This all might sound extreme, but people like this can and will find a way to come at you wherever they can. This sucks and no one should go through it, but it is infinitely better than going through whatever new fresh abuse she's cooking up for you. You're not with her because you love her, but because you are putting her needs before your own. She's leeching off of you as she has nobody else left. She will hit you. Right now she's kept back by her fear of you finally leaving. But slowly her behavior will get worse while you will stay around, showing her that she can do whatever to you. Has she ever in the past 3 years made any sort of progress towards bettering herself? Therapy? Courses? Actual deeds? Because it sounds like the classical, "I'm sorry, I will do better" / "it will never happen again" stuff we hear from every abusive person. They only feel remorse afterwards, promising a lot but doing exactly nothing. Stay and watch her reach the point of openly slamming her fists on you, sapping the joy out of your life until you yourself reach a point of no return. Put your foot down and make her actually better her ways. This behavior ends now. You are not a punching bag, and unless she shows any progress or deeds in trying to better herself, leave the relationship while you still find joy in life. While you don't have to flinch from loud voices or sudden arm movements before you become a husk of the man you are today. Dude, you're not obligated to take care of her, especially not to your own detriment. She is a grown adult, she can figure her own situation out and support herself. Don't let her convince you it's because of her mental illnesses. I'm half a dozen mental illnesses masquerading as a human, and I've never, ever put my hands on a partner in anger. Bro, sometimes abuse can be hard to realize. It took me 7 years to realize my wife was abusing me. So I'll just say this. Does your girlfriend make you feel good about yourself? Or do you feel like a worse person than you were before you met her? Because if you feel like you are a worse person, it could be because someone is tearing you down and making you feel that way. Or it could be because you are a worse person because someone is dragging you down to their level. If you've never screamed in anger before in your life, but you find yourself in shouting matches with your SO. If you've never been physically violent but suddenly are in physical fights with your SO. If you hate name calling but your SO calls you stupid/loser/a-hole/jerk. And you find yourself tempted to call them names back. If you are exhausted from trying to please your SO but they still say you aren't trying hard enough, you are being abused. When men abuse, it is typically physical/sexual or control. When a woman abuses, it is typically an attack on your personality/emotions. If you are not used to it, you will at first take the criticism as legit and internalize it, and you won't stop accepting and internalizing until your own personality snaps and says, hey, WTF, this is not me. This is where you are right now, OP. You just woke up, what are you going to do? And in my opinion, your SO sounds like she has BPD. BPD is treatable only if the person 200% accepts that they have it, and this can be hard because at its core, BPD makes the person externalize all problems. It is hard to convince someone that has extreme emotional dysregulation that they are the problem. They already think they know what the problem is, you. In their mind, if you just treated them better and reassured them constantly, then they could be happy. They cannot. Not without therapy. Edit. When someone has zero contact with their family, you have to consider that they may have been cut off by their family for a reason. I ignored this. My wife only had one family member that would speak to her. I believed her that they were all horrible, etc. They were not, they just couldn't deal with her anymore. Thanks a lot for this comment. This last year I have become more confident. I know what I want to do with my life, I am making more friends, and that seems that is no longer compatible with her. For example, I almost never smoke or drink, however when I am with friends I can't even think about smoking. If there is a chance that she can smell me, because I know that would make her furious, and the list goes on and on. Sometimes I think about breaking up, but she doesn't have anywhere to go, I am everything she has. Her family are just horrible and she can't go back with them. At this moment she is looking for a job but didn't have any luck. The others have provided some great advice. I just wanted to point out that none of the above is relevant, or your responsibility. When they say, you have to look out for number one first, this is what they mean. Besides, this is part of the basic social/interpersonal contract. If you want people to be nice to you, you have to be nice to them. And to that point, you're thinking about leaving her because she's been so crappy to you. If you wish to salvage this, it begins with communication. She needs to know how her anger makes you feel. She needs to know it could be the end of the relationship. But if you think this thing has run its course, then the other commenter had some great ideas on how to make as clean an exit as possible. You're the only one she has because she's abusive, toxic, and violent. You need to get her out of there today. She is not safe to be around, and she has been verbally abusing you for years. Look at it this way. She has no fear at all about being brutal and abusive to the person who is providing all of her most basic life needs and necessities. She has no one else who cares about her, no job, so presumably no money, and nowhere to go. So she depends on you for the roof over her head and the food in her mouth. For her very survival. If she can treat you so horribly now, when most people would be grateful for all you are providing to them, how do you think she'll treat you when she doesn't need you? When she has a job and her own money and no longer needs you to provide all her necessities. You think she's bad now. Has she ever almost hit you before? This is escalating. If the roles were reversed, we would all be encouraging her to leave. The next time may be the time she does hit you. She's abusing you. The abuse followed by the apologies are a classic abuser sign. Please rethink this relationship. Don't worry about her having nowhere to go. She's 25, she can figure it out. Her excuse is not acceptable. Time to break up. She's abusive. The trust is gone and the relationship is dead. You need to put your mental health over her potential housing issues. She's an adult. She can figure it out. Your, I hope soon-to-be ex-girlfriend is toxic. She has anger issues, as you've mentioned, and they are escalating. It's not a matter of when she becomes physically violent, but when. Please leave. She needs serious professional help. If she's willing, you may be able to work through this, but do so living apart. You're not safe. Edit, after reading your responses. GTFO, she's toxic, holding you back. You can love her and still know she's not good for you. Sometimes, people can stay in our hearts, but not in our lives. Run. You need to make yourself your #1 priority. She's an abusive person. You should end it and kick her out. If she genuinely loved you, she wouldn't even think about hitting you. You shouldn't feel bad for kicking her out and cutting contact. You don't owe your abuser anything at all. Get away. Abuse is abuse. If she wants to hit a man, she better be ready to get hit by one. One day this will happen to her, not by you, but not all men will put up with that.